If you had one chance to try again and this time truly succeed, would you take that chance? Hi everyone, my name is Anna. I'm a personal trainer and nutrition coach who also has a passion for human behavior, what makes you tick, and what promotes change in a person. And today I want to give you a collection of things I've learned on my path, but also give you a blueprint on how to start your health and fitness journey this year and actually stick to your New Year's resolutions. So grab a pen and paper because although this is not a long video, I think, it is packed with valuable information that will help you this year. And before we begin, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified when a new video is up. I'm not going to lie, by doing this, the YouTube gods of algorithm are going to work their magic and show this video to even more people. And stick till the end because I also have prepared something really nice for you. Let's get started. Many of you, myself included, actually are guilty of setting ourselves amazing goals, especially during the New Year's. We start off the year super motivated because this year is going to be ours. But then, as time goes on, perhaps a few more days only, or for some even a few months, something changes and somehow we slip back into our old habits. Life gets in the way, and then the year passes and we wake up upset at ourselves for failing our goals. But let me tell you that it's not your fault. It's the systems and the way we are taught to approach goals, our dreams, and how to see motivation as the ultimate fuel to productivity. And that's why I want to teach you a few things that will make a difference in how you approach your resolutions so that this time you actually go through with them. Because I know you got this in you, and I do believe you do have the power to achieve great things. One thing that I want to point out is that the things that we are going to talk about today are not only going to apply to your New Year's resolutions, but also to any type of goal that you have. So of course, if you're watching this, I don't know, sometime during the year, that's fine too. I still highly encourage you to watch this video because for sure it's going to help you. So the first thing I want to talk about whenever we set a goal is the importance of always having a beginner's mind. What does that mean? It means that no matter how many things you think you know already or how many times you've done something like this before, don't be afraid to be wrong about something. We all make mistakes, and it's actually okay to admit that. This level of self-awareness should be a set stone for this new year. Try to reflect more on your actions, thoughts, and behaviors. Remember that everything you do or happens in your life has a cause. Try to analyze it. Understanding it can actually give you more insight into what works for you and what doesn't. Having the mind of a beginner means being aware of these things. Approach everything with an open mind and treat these things with curiosity. Every little thing has a lesson, and every mistake has one too. One thing that I always like to say is that there is no such thing as failure. Perhaps your last year wasn't as successful or prosperous as you would have liked, but it is such an invaluable source of information. And by reflecting on that, you can see what things you can change or do to make this year even better, no matter how challenging your goals are. And since I mentioned challenging goals, I want to share with you a very interesting perspective I came across recently about how to kind of change your mindset when it comes to approaching them. So let's say you set some really great goals, but for some reason you start to doubt yourself. You can't see yourself truly achieving them. It just feels impossible. But take a moment to look behind you. Do you see that? Do you see all the mountains you've climbed already? Do you see how many challenges you conquered so far? What makes this goal so impossible? Because this time, not only that you already climbed so many mountains, but you also have all the knowledge and experience you gained from that. You have your beginner's mind, and you learn from each experience. You're not walking in blind this time. Oh no, you're going into this with a baggage of experience and lessons you learn that you can apply to achieve this goal as well. So think of one goal of yours that you didn't think you will achieve. I'm sure you got something. Try to write down what you learned from that experience on your journey towards achieving that goal. Perhaps it was a lesson on being consistent or about pushing yourself a little bit more than usual. or maybe the support you got from your environment, your friends or your family. Take all the lessons you learned from your past successes and apply them to your current goal. Simple. Not easy, but simple. This is probably going to happen sometime this year. If it does, I want you to remember this. When you're feeling stuck, you have only two options really. One, stay where you are and do nothing about it. You might disagree with me, but I believe that most of us choose this option because it's easier. Sometimes we get so used to being in our own misery, even though it's incredibly hard, and we get so used to it that any alternative feels even worse. So you have the first option to do nothing. Or two, you can adopt a growth mindset. Like I said earlier, there is no such thing as failure, only experiences from which we can learn. Having a growth mindset means that you will always be looking for solutions. What can you do right now? What are your options? Because there is always something that can be done. One of my biggest lessons from last year was all about prioritizing mental health. I'm not saying that I did that, at least not as much as I should have. I definitely took the first steps towards that and I already can see the benefits. But I do know how not prioritizing it makes everything else a lot more complicated. And personally, for me, a hard pill to swallow was accepting the fact that not paying enough attention to my mental health made me a lot less productive. The things that I achieved in the past 2 years, I could have easily done in less than a year if I haven't gone so long without prioritizing my mental health. And I know that it's also okay to give ourselves time to recover and heal, but at one point I believe that we also need to start taking responsibility for ourselves and finally take the steps towards getting better, even though it can be excruciatingly painful at times. And I also know that it's easy to believe that working more, forcing yourself to do more, and finally achieving your goals will solve all your mental health issues. Trust me, it doesn't. It will just slow you down and eventually you fall into this pit of hopelessness because tasks take at least twice as long to complete and focusing is a struggle, keeping you further away from reaching your goals. So this year, if you're struggling with mental health, start making it a priority. Don't be afraid to ask for help, seek support, and practice self-awareness. And try to understand yourself more. Research and read books about it. This way solutions will come to light. You'll finally start to see a way out of whatever you're going through. And I really think that from understanding comes healing. Alright, so now that we know all these new things, how can we take this even further and apply them to our fitness and nutrition goals? And I'm going to teach you the GSP framework, which is proven to work for many people. This is a framework that teaches you how to make each goal more manageable and easy to tackle. I oftentimes hear that you should just set yourself a goal that is important to you, of course, and simply take action. Don't go into detail, don't think too much about it, just take action. But this type of impulsive behavior usually doesn't last. It's oftentimes driven by motivation alone, which again doesn't last. It comes and goes in waves, and it might create even more confusion and disappointment in the long term. So how do we do this? This is a pretty broad topic that deserves a whole video itself. So if it's already up, then you should see it here or find the link somewhere in the description box. If not, just have a little bit more patience and subscribe to know and to be notified when the video is up. I do plan on talking about SMART goals as well and the GSP framework in more detail in that video. But I still want to teach you here what the GSP is, because if you start applying it today, it's going to change your life this year. So this is a very easy template that you can apply right away. GSP comes from goals, skills, and practices, and it's pretty self-explanatory. So basically you have a goal that is well defined. Let's say that your goal is to lose 10 kilograms or 20 pounds, it doesn't really matter, okay? So let's say you want to lose weight. Next come the skills. So what skills are needed in order for you to achieve that goal? Well, with pretty much any goal, you might need more than one skill, which is great because this means that there are a lot of paths you can take to move closer to your goals. In this case, if you want to lose weight, a skill will be to learn meal prep. Meal prepping will help you plan your meals better and perhaps help you control your caloric intake as well. Of course, this will not be the only skill that you need to lose weight, but you determine that this is one of the skills that will get you closer to your goal. Okay, so we want to learn how to meal prep. Now we have practices. What practices do we need to do to develop that skills? So we want to lose weight, and for that we have to learn meal prep. And one of the practices would be to look up some recipes. You'll see that practices don't have to be complicated at all. They can be things that could be done only in just a few minutes a day. Remember that with each step/practice, you will get closer to your big goal. Another skill for the same goal would be, let's say, to learn how to listen to your own body and hunger cues, and a daily practice would be to eat slowly and mindfully. If we also want to add some exercising, maybe a skill for that would be to plan ahead, and a practice would be to write down the exercises you want to do or to look up one of my workout videos. Okay, I've given you plenty examples. Hopefully by now it is clear how GSP works and how it can help you tremendously achieve your goals. I encourage you to write these things down because for one single goal, you can come up with lots of skills and even more practices. This way you will know exactly what to do at each step of your journey. How cool is that? One more thing that I want to teach you now that we know more about goals, how to set them, and what your first action should be, how do you make it so that you actually stick to it? Because it might still not be enough to have a goal, a skill, and a practice. You might already have all the answers you need, but for some reason, you still struggle to stick to your goal. This study shows the connection between goal persistence and immediate or delayed rewards. Delayed rewards are great to promote setting a goal, and it's also a great indicator of when a goal is achieved. They're like the ultimate prize. And for many of us, it's what we are usually fully focused on when we work on achieving a goal. But studies show that it's important to have immediate rewards as well, to motivate us to pursue that goal long term. You might think that immediate rewards mean rewarding yourself right after an action is fully completed, but actually it refers to having that reward during that certain action. And this can come out in so many forms, and I encourage you to come up with some ideas for your own goal and situation. But let's say that your goal is to exercise, and the specific action is to have a 20-minute cardio session. So what could give you an immediate reward? Well, if you're lucky, the workout itself would be rewarding enough. It makes you feel energized and happy and positive. But if you're not necessarily a person who enjoys cardio, perhaps you can try other things. You can listen to your favorite music during workout. You can wear your favorite workout clothes. You can work out with a friend, try out new fun exercises, or find a form of cardio that you enjoy, perhaps join a fitness class. So this is about enjoying what you are doing. A delayed reward, however, for this goal would be the long-term benefit of exercising, such as being healthy and fit, maybe weight loss or muscle gain. Personally, for me, it's 90% about mental health and also about feeling good in my own body. But I do want to emphasize that being in the moment and focusing on what you're doing right now also increases the chances of you sticking to that habit. But the next time you hear someone tell you to focus on the journey and not the destination, remember, it's science. So my advice is, although not every action is going to be the most fun, I do, however, encourage you to try and make it a little bit more enjoyable. What is one thing you can add or change so that it creates a more positive experience for you? Ooh, that was a lot of information. Hopefully by now you are fully charged and ready to get started and have this like, oh my god, I can actually do this. This year is gonna be amazing. But if you remember, I did promise that I also have something for you. Now that you gained all the knowledge on how to stick to your goals and how to make them even more manageable and fun, it is only fair that you get all the support you need till the end. So I created this really nice printable. I'm calling it Become Your Healthiest Self. This girl is proud. Why? Because this is a guide and workbook to help you reach your fitness and nutrition goals. You'll find the main points we've discussed in this video, plus some extra ones. You'll get to review your past year from a fitness and nutrition standpoint, and also get guidance on how to set your goals and improve your mindset. You got lots of prompts and questions that will help you on the way. You can download it, print it, and go back to it anytime you need a reminder. You can also use it throughout the year if you change your goals, and it's also pretty, very pretty too. I've been working on it for a while, and I'm really excited to share it with you. You can purchase it right away by clicking the link in the description box, or directly on my website at liftandbloom.com/printables. In the meantime, let me know in the comments, what is your #1 goal this year, and what is the first action you're going to take to achieve it? Don't forget to like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to see more videos like this one. Have a great year, everyone. I'll see you again soon. Bye! I think she's a tiny bit sleepy, this little one. Oh, no.